The Saints Row series is one that has provided over-the-top action, ridiculous antics, and irreverent humour for more than 15 years. We haven't seen the Saints for quite some time, as it's been 9 years since the last main game. However, now in 2022 the series has been rebooted and features a new cast of characters. But does it live up to the standards of its predecessors though? As was the case with the last two Saints Row games, you play as the boss. You have no real name and you're never explicitly called the boss, however you do assume the role of the group's de facto leader. Your character lives with their three friends, Eli, Kevin and Nina, who all belong to rival gangs in the fictional location of Santo Ileso. While the respective gangs tend to feud with each other fairly regularly, you all remain loyal to each other and sometimes even do jobs together to either make rent or pay off student debt. After a handful of events, your character and their roommates decide to start their own criminal empire and subsequently dub themselves the Saints. The main narrative is something that's not particularly captivating. For the most part, it tells a story and it really just serves as a backdrop to your missions. The characters have their moments here and there though, and each of the founding members of the Saints is fairly different from the next when it comes to their personalities. Nina and the boss stood out for me the most though, since they have stronger personalities compared to Eli and Kevin. However, that's not to say that the latter are just along for the ride though. Before diving into what the game has to offer, you will be greeted by the character creator, where you will be able to create your own boss. It's actually quite extensive and inclusive, featuring different body and hair types, prosthetics, vein definition and even skin conditions like vitiligo. You can also get some tattoos once you've made it past the first story mission and have access to the world. It's actually one of the best creators and makes it simple enough to create a boss in your likeness. Just like other games from the series, Saints Row is a third-person action game. Missions range from simple shootouts with rival gangs to crazy driving missions involving towing a shipping container to a location and using the force of the said container to destroy any pursuing vehicles. They're pretty varied in the early going and are pretty enjoyable, but it does tend to become a little tiresome when it comes to the shooting. There are some cool things you can do to make things exciting, such as surfing the roof of a car while shooting or just going out and buying new weapons. However, to get access to some of the better damage-dealing weapons, you do have to build up your empire a fair amount. Leveling up your boss also gives you access to abilities that can turn the tables in a fight. These range from sticking a live grenade onto an enemy and then throwing them into their bodies, or giving yourself a health boost. The vehicle physics are a little better. Your vehicle can take a large amount of damage before it has to be discarded. However, when using your vehicle to pull off a sideswipe mechanic, it can send almost any pursuer to an explosive end. It actually never really felt like something that got old. One of the best features in Saints Row is how customizable the experience is. There are still options that translate to traditional settings such as easy, medium or hard, but there are so many more aspects to tweak. These range from how durable enemies are to how scarce you want your ammo to be. It makes the game a lot more accessible, which is never a bad thing. Santo Ileso is broken up into different regions, and while not immediately noticeable, it becomes quite apparent once you start setting up parts of your empire in each area and have to deal with any competition from your rivals. There aren't many options available initially when it comes to setting up a cover business, but more become available as you progress through the game. Businesses range from taco trucks which actually sell drugs to setting up a medical clinic which actually commits insurance fraud. While these bring in revenue for your empire, they also introduce a host of new activities to take part in. If you're feeling like you don't want to wreak havoc alone, you can invite a friend to play through the campaign with you in co-op. It makes the game even more entertaining, and the best part is that progression is tracked for both players. Visually, Saints Row looks gorgeous. The character models look great, but in all honesty, the environments truly steal the show. Also, depending on how you'd like to play the game, there are a number of graphics options to choose from that prioritize either resolution or the frame rate. The voice acting is pretty well done for the most part, but there are some moments where it feels a bit middling. Saints Row is fun but flawed. The story, while serving as a decent backdrop for the gameplay, isn't very memorable. However, the characters can be quite entertaining at times. The gameplay is fun and the mission types will have you pulling off some insane stunts throughout the campaign. After a while, the shooting does become a little tiresome. Building your criminal empire is great since it nets you cash, plus it opens up some new activities to take part in. Additionally, you can go around Santo Ileso with a friend to cause mayhem together and even take on missions. Visually, the game looks gorgeous, but this mostly applies to the environments you'll see. Saints Row can be a lot of fun, but at the same time it feels like it plays it a little safe when compared to its predecessors. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button, and if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. And if you got your hands on Saints Row, please let me know what you thought of the game in the comments section down below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.